Your front door is probably leaking money and you don't even know. And 9 times out of 10, it comes down to a $15 piece of weather stripping. And the good news is this is a 10-minute fix that I'm gonna walk you through right now. The seal around your door works by compression. So as you open and close your door, it pushes up against that weather stripping to create that tight seal. You'll know that you have a problem with your weather stripping if you feel a draft coming in around the door during windy days, or you notice that there is light in the gap between the door and the door jamb. This is a surefire sign that the weather stripping is breaking down and needs to be replaced. You may also know that when you visually inspect your weather stripping, it may look extra compressed, it may start to crack, and this happens over time. This is why we need to replace it. The weather stripping I'm replacing today is known as KERF, K-E-R-F weather stripping. All that means is that there is a gap around the door that it fits into on the inside of your door. Now, most doors over the past few decades have been made this way. If you live in an older home, you may have one where there is a compression strip on the exterior of the door that is either nailed or typically screwed into the door jamb and pushes against the door when the door shuts. If you have that exterior type of compression strip, you'll need to buy a different type of weather stripping to fix the issue. But if you have KERF, let's keep going. The KERF weather stripping has a barbed spline that runs the length of the weather stripping, and this is what's going to go inside of that groove in the interior of your door. But before we put it in, we have to take the old stuff out. To remove the old weather stripping, you can use a screwdriver if it is stuck, and if yours is painted on, this might be a little bit of a different challenge for you. You're gonna have to peel that out. But just grab the top and pull, and you will notice that the splines will start to release from the KERF. Just continue working your way down the door until you get it out completely. This is the KERF that I was talking about, this gap right here. That's where the weather stripping just came out of, and that's where the new weather stripping is going to go into. Now, before you install your next round of weather stripping, I highly suggest just checking it to make sure that there's no screws sticking out, no staples or anything else that's in the way that's going to cause a problem for you when you go to install. Take care of that, clean out any debris that might be in there, and then we can move on. Your weather stripping comes in strips that are way bigger than your door, so you need to measure. And there's 3 ways you can do that. You can always use a measuring tape, and I actually suggest that you do that for the top of the door. That's the part that you want to be incredibly accurate when you cut. The second way you can measure is by holding your old piece up against your new piece and then making a mark or just cutting right where that was. There's a little bit of a danger with this one because if your old pieces were the wrong length, your new pieces are going to be the wrong length. So be careful with that one. And the third way is to just put it in and work it to the end and cut it when you get there. And a lot of people do that, and hey, it works for them. But either way, I recommend that you cut your top piece to the exact length it needs to be, and your side pieces a little bit longer than they need to be so that you can trim them for a perfect fit at the bottom. When you cut your weather stripping, you don't need any fancy tools. A good old sharp pair of scissors is going to do the trick. As you fit the weather stripping in, you should be able to just push it in with your fingers. If for some reason it is difficult to get in, double check to make sure that there's nothing inside of the KERF that's blocking the spline from going in. And if there isn't, you can use a wooden block and gently tap it with a hammer. Just be careful because you do not want to damage your brand new weather stripping. With that top piece inserted, now we can do our measurement from top to bottom. And you do want to fit this new piece really snug up underneath that top piece so that there are no gaps when you have it installed. I mentioned that you want to leave your side pieces just a little bit longer than the measurement, and here's why. When I get to the bottom, I like to cut back at an angle on my barbed spline. I do that so that I can get it into the KERF, but also leave a little bit of extra weather stripping on the end. This is because of the gap between my threshold and the KERF itself. This allows me enough weather stripping to fit into that gap and stop enough air and light from coming in from the bottom corners, which is where I usually run into most problems on our doors. Doing that gives me a nice clean fill right inside of that gap between the threshold and the KERF at the bottom of the door. Failed weather stripping can have up to a 15% impact on your monthly utility bill. And when you're spending $200 or $300 a month, 15% adds up to real money. So it is important to take care of this. With the new weather stripping in place, you should notice that there are no more drafts, you do not see any light, and well, it's brand new, so there's no more cracking happening here. But what do you do about the bottom of your door? Well, for more information on that, click or tap on this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.